Oh my God, Spain have just been knocked out of the World Cup. And to be honest, they got everything they deserved. They were absolutely awful, so boring. That game almost made me angry watching Spain. They showed no ambition at all to really win that game. But Russia, the run-in that they put in, there's been some conspiracies and some rumours about Russia and what they're doing. I mean, it's not like it's not based on some kind of fact. The fact is that they are running themselves into the ground for their nation, for their team, how they're doing it. I don't want to go into that. Let's not waste time talking about that, because Russia, they got what they deserved in that game. They gave everything. Cherchesov, the manager, said they needed to die out on the pitch, and to be honest, they did. But Spain made it a lot easier for them than it needed to be. Iniesta didn't start the game. Was that a good decision or a bad decision? Ultimately, that Spain team had Azpilicueta on the bench. It had Iniesta on the bench. It had world global superstars on the pitch. That's not what cost them the game, in my opinion. They got absolutely what they deserved by being so boring in how they played that game of football, side to side. I think, well over 1,000 passes in that game of football, well over 75% possession. And possession has been a big talking point for football games for a long time, about the team with the most possession is the team that's dominating the game, or the team that deserved to win the game. Spain didn't deserve to win that game at all, despite having the kind of possession that they had, because time and again it was just side to side. Watching that game, there were huge gaps in the perfect areas for the Spanish players. Silva did very little. Asensio did very little. Isco tried to get on the ball, but he was always trying to get on the ball in too wide an area. There were these clear pockets of space in between the lines that they refused to pass through and play to them. They nearly got a goal right at the end of normal time, I think it was. And that was because Iniesta was able to pick up the ball in that area, in that kind of that number 10 area, not so wide, not so far away from goal, turn and create something. But it was unambitious from Spain, no tempo at all, awful. Ramos was brilliant at the back, but his mugginess after the penalty, that really wound me up as well. After his penalty, giving the ball to the next guy and saying a couple of choice words, put the ball down and let the next guy go. Stuff like that winds me up, and that's exactly why people hate a player like Ramos, who's one of the greatest centre-backs of our generation. He was flawless in the game, but little things like that just shows you what a dick he is, and he deserved everything he got there in terms of going out, as did most of the players. I think Spain, like as I say, have dominated this game, but Russia have proven to be a team that you can't underestimate. And again, in this World Cup, you cannot underestimate or expect any team to win any game. Wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe how untested they were, though, as well. I know I keep going back to Spain, but just boring, tappy crap. Got what they deserved. They need to move forward with the game of football. It looked like they were going to dominate for decades and decades, but football moved forward, and it moved forward at pace, and that's how you have to play games of football now. You can have great players, but if you're not attacking the space, it's so easy for teams to be organised and to close you down and to stop you doing anything. Diego Costa in the first 80 minutes, or maybe it was a bit less than that. Again, they weren't able to get the ball to him because, again, the tempo was so poor. I don't think there's much more I can say about this game apart from Russia, brilliant, scored all 5 penalties, deserve what they got. I think they're still beatable. I think there's no doubt about that. But I don't think they were tested at all by this Spain team, littered with absolute superstars. I think they've let themselves down, and they should know better to be able to sort of turn up the tempo at some point. But it felt unambitious and really, really poor, in my opinion. That's another That's another reaction from me on these knockout games, the last 16. Go check out my Ronaldo one and my Messi one. If you're new to the channel, then do me a favour and hit subscribe. I'm reacting to as many games as possible, and there'll be loads of other content in the future as well. So it won't be a bad decision if you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, then click like. Let me know your thoughts. Like, am I being harsh on Spain, or did they deserve what they got? Which is absolutely nothing. Massive shock. A World Cup full of shocks, but this has got to be the biggest one. The lowest ranked team beating Spain. Russia go through, Spain go out. Loving this World Cup, man.